What's up, guys? This is Preston. Welcome to the Nifty experience. Typically, you'd be seeing Will right here, but we fired him, so he's gone. I want to introduce y'all to Jeremy. He's our graphic designer. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. It's been a long time coming to bring you onto the show. We've been talking about this for at least a month and a half.
And I got to admit, it's more so because I'm a little camera shy on the back end. And I was like, you know what, let's do it. But I'm like,
honestly, same. Like, it took a whole lot for me to get in front of the camera. Like, being a videographer, it takes a whole lot for me to get in front. But, today we're going to be talking about your wheelhouse design. But, before we get into that, be sure to like this video. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that way you can stay in touch with what we're doing. Recently, you made a logo for the Rowlett Chamber of Commerce, who we are so thankful to be partnered with. And they entrust us to work with us on their new branding. So I came to you probably about a month or so before we rolled it out. I just want to walk through the design process. So whenever it comes to creating a logo, that's really the cornerstone of a brand. So whenever you are creating a new logo for a company, what are kind of the initial steps?
So it really starts off, before I put any kind of pencil to paper, it really just starts off with a bunch of back research. I like to first off do a research about the company itself. What are they at right now? What kind of values do they have? What are their goals as a business? And then going from there, I do competitive research. I do what are competitors doing in the industry, not necessarily just on their branding, but just in general, and kind of see what the client, how they differentiate from everyone else. And then while doing that research, I take notes on kind of the moods that I see, kind of the vibes that I get from the company. And then based off of those descriptive words, I gather all of those together to then go to the next step of what are the most impactful words. So like, for example, like they want, typical buzzwords of like, you want to be professional, you want to be charismatic or anything, those kind of objective
Definitely.
words. And then go to the next step of what are the most impactful ones, and then narrow in on what I do next. And so with the Rowlett process, I did a lot of research on what every chamber of commerce in that area, what their logo looks like, and I noticed a lot of trends that, since they were all based around a lake, that they all had logos based off of water.
Correct.
And for one, I did not want to do a boat because there was already one that had, there were several that had boats.
I know the Rockwall does for sure. I don't remember about any of the other chambers.
Right. So I just went off of that, and then thankfully, just after time and time of just getting the logo down and trying to narrow it, eventually made it to where it is. So.
Definitely. I want to kind of punch in on some of the keywords and the moods that you that you work with, because it's a very abstract thing. So whenever you are working with a client who's very cut and dry by the book, they might not understand how certain words can fit with a piece of art. So how do you typically work with a client that might not fully understand the process?
So really what I do, I kind of put things into their own perspective, and I kind of give them different examples, and kind of, you think about it like the color red means strong, and the, blue can give off a soothing feeling. It's different colors, different moods, and also the type of font too. The font really helps narrow that direction too, because you can have one logo that has a very professional look to it, but it doesn't match what the company does. It doesn't match what their brand is. So what I like to do is I pretty much just like to basically have the client talk to me about how they feel their company is, basically get them to say those words, and then show them examples of how do you feel when you look at this? How do you feel when you look at this? This is what we want to, this is our goal. This is where we want to be at the end.
Absolutely. And kind of going into the next step of that. So you typically create a mood board whenever you are doing a piece of design, and more often than not, it has absolutely nothing to do with the design. It's more so just kind of hitting those general feels. How do you typically go about that?
Yeah, again, this is all before you even put pen to paper. This is still in the research process. And really, Pinterest. I go on Pinterest. I don't care. Yeah, no shame. Go on Pinterest and I make mood boards in Pinterest and I find basically not necessarily like logos that match that mood, just any kind of just picture that matches that mood of that certain category. So you kind of give them two, maybe three different options, and then you just get imagery from, just from Pinterest and, just narrow it down. And then you show them those mood boards, you show the client the mood boards and give them a sense of, do we want to go in this direction? Do we want to go in here? Do we want to go in here? And that also kind of helps build that roadmap of going along the process instead of just the client saying, oh, they're working on it. I don't really know what they're working on, but let's see what happens. But having them at least see the mood board gives them, okay, this is the road we're going to take. Let's see what happens.
The main keywords with the Rowlett Chamber are catalyst, convener, champion. Those are very powerful, strong words, and I think those words carry a whole lot of weight. And I think you did a great job of portraying that with the current logo. Whenever you were creating the different designs, how did those three words come into play?
I really kept in the champion, because the champion is really what stuck out to me the most as, okay, this is what they really want. This is what I think that they should, exemplify. And so I really tried to stick around champion. I really tried to stick around something that was just very professional, something that's something that anybody could look at and be like, just proud to see it. So that's really the kind of the mindset that I was going behind.
Absolutely, dude. I think that's awesome. I think you did an amazing job with it. I know that the Chamber is very proud of it. They did a big reveal at the awards banquet back in March, and I know that the community has been talking about it and this big rebrand that they've been doing, and I know that we can hold our heads high with the work that you did. You did an amazing job.
It was a team effort.
It absolutely was a team effort, but you definitely carried you did the heavy lifting on it.
My back hurts a little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
So before we jump off, let's talk about some of your other designs that you've done. What's looking back in your career? What's some of your favorite things that you've done?
Favorite things that I've done. I would say probably one of the most favorite things that I've done is a project that I just finished up recently. It was for a food truck out in Lubbock. As a designer, the best projects that pretty much anybody can get is anything that involves with beer or with like anything like takeout food or anything. So I got to build a brand for a Big Belly's food truck, and basically just got to incorporate just all of the West Texas and pretty much incorporate just everything that was fun about West Texas: barbecue, beer.
Yeah, because he's one of your tech buddies,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yep, and so it was cool to see it all come together, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I think you did a really great job. If you want to go check out some of his work, you can follow him on Instagram at...
Jeremy R. Jones with 2 S's at the end, so...
I was definitely going to say the wrong thing.
I don't really...
But it'll pop up about right there. Once again, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't done so already, like this video. It helps the algorithm, helps us be shown to more people. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that way you can keep in touch with what we're doing. Thanks for watching.